Hey, what's going on? It's Glendon Cameron, founder of Hustlers Kung Fu. We're going to do something a little different today. Now, just for you new people, understand that we do not have ads on the channel. Today, we're talking about stuff that business gurus do not tell you. I mean, we're going to get deep. But if you want to support the channel, be sure to subscribe. And if you don't want to buy any products, below the video is a love offering button. Just hit that if you want to donate some shillings. All right, we will get back to that later. There's some other stuff we're going to talk about. We've had some challenges hiring people, and it's been interesting. And this is some of the stuff that gurus will not tell you because everybody online that has a course or something makes it seem like it's so easy. Now, many of you have been asking where Valencia's been. She's like right there. See that behind her head where Valencia dwells? She's been here, but she's been going through some challenges and trials and tribulations, and she's going to talk about them in her own voice. So with that.
Hey guys, how you guys doing? I know it's been a while. Well, I guess the challenges or what the topic of today that we're talking about is I've actually kind of stepped into the role of HR because we've decided to hire people. So with in terms of HR, like I'm gonna be honest, I haven't really hired or been in the HR role for almost like 10 years, and like I feel like I did HR when I kind of first came out of college. I was in part of this management program with this corporation, and so HR was part of the rotation that I had to do. So, yeah, I've had to hire, and I know the steps and like the basics and the terms and the standard quote of hiring. But this is a little different because, we're not a Fortune 500 company. On top of that, the way that we're obtaining our applicants is, a little different. So we've used Craigslist to pretty much rally up all of our candidates. Yeah. And I'm going to be pretty transparent. Like, coming from New York, like, if you looking at Craigslist on New York, there's tons of good gigs. Like, not even gigs, like actual jobs. Like, people don't want to use recruiters. Recruiters actually cost a lot of money just because you have to pay, a headhunter to find you a decent person, and like New York kind of operates on that, or on a referral basis program. Like, it's such a like oversaturated market that using Craigslist sometimes helps people filter it out. So you usually get like the first 1 to 2 days where you get like a heavy influx of candidates that come through your Craigslist like email response to your ad or whatever. And you just filter. Usually it only takes you 1 to 2 days because you're going to get like 100 to 200 responses in those 2 days. And that's enough candidates that, you'll be able to find one, fingers crossed, depending on what the role is. But Atlanta's a little different because if you've ever seen the job section in Atlanta in Craigslist, like typically I feel like it's made up or it's comprised of like administrative assistant type of positions, executive assistant positions. So when I first came down here, I just kind of like took a step back. I was kind of contracting in New York, and I actually was paired up with a headhunter because that's how it works in New York. I had a headhunter with me in New York, and I had a headhunter when I came down here. I was with the creative circle as well as with the creative group. So I had two people working on my behalf, and I was getting gigs. But then I decided to look at Craigslist because that's just what other people do up top in the north. And I was looking, and I was like, oh, wow, all of these things look really sketchy, like just flat out sketchy. But I was like, if I'm looking at it, there's other people looking at it as well. So we decided to do the whole hiring process through Craigslist, like put up an ad, and see what type of candidates would come through. So some of the issues that we actually had in this process, I can just start from the very beginning and just let you know people just didn't show up. Like, they just, I don't, like, I don't get it. Like, you're like, hey, like you guys have said on this day, like, give more information about the company or whatever. And I get it. Like, we're still kind of in the starting stages. So we're actually have a landing page because we're still looking for like a full stack developer. Like, and you don't want to put up crap. So it's better to just have like a coming soon or whatever page. Like, whatever, I get it. But people just were not showing up. So then the few people that we did get in were super underqualified, probably didn't pay attention to the ad or the requirements or anything of that nature. It's just they just were not qualified. We got a lucky random person who actually works with us now, and she's in the other room because we were first hiring for a customer service position for one of our clients. She pretty much oversees the e-commerce. So I don't know what happened. I don't know if my prayers went up to God or something, but realistically, when she walked through the door, my eyes like glistened, they glazed over, and I said thank you under my breath. I was like, thank you, Lord, because she was beyond qualified. She was like a marketing director. She had tons of experience, like more than 3 to 5 years, and it just so happened perfect time and perfect space, and I was like, perfect. So what's up? Do you want this job or no? Like, so she's currently working with us. So then we decided to hire the next positions that we decided to go into. What we did was we decided to narrow it down. Like, so with Craigslist, I guess the first posting, we didn't have enough detail. Like, I felt like once I looked at the actual listing of it, it wasn't enough details. Like I didn't feel like it was descriptive enough and straight on target so we can filter out the BS. Like tell people exactly what you want, tell people exactly what the position is, tell it what it entails, tell what we're offering, what they'll get in return if they decide to join us, and just pretty much be as transparent as possible. And what we didn't do the second time was that we'll do this time coming up is we didn't put a requirement on it in terms of like minimal qualifications.
Hold on a second.
Sorry.
I'm gonna give that to you. All right, let me. Valencia said if they don't have 2 to 3 years experience, she ain't even talking to them. Okay, now we're back.
Yeah, realistically, because of not saying that I'm not down for the entry level person. Everyone has to start somewhere and get their foot in. But this is, if you guys haven't realized what month it is, it's like June, which means college kids just graduated. What? The 27th of May. I mean, I'm almost 10 years out of school, but realistically, I know what it is. And like, they want to get their feet wet, they want to see what the market's like. And unfortunately, what we have going on right now, we don't really have the time to literally train them, because you literally have to, like, it's a trial and error, and we don't have really enough room and give for trial and error. So it's more like they need to have the experience. Like, we're not looking for rock stars, but we're not looking for a newborn. Like, we're just not looking for you fresh out the womb. We need someone who's a little bit seasoned. So you at least need to have 2 to 3 years, some kind of knowledge in terms of whatever we're asking for the specific role. So like right now, I think we just feel like a kind of a graphic designer, a front end developer role with a guy who's beyond seasoned. I think he has about 10 years. Once again, a bless up that just walked into the office and I was like, thank you. Like it worked out. But we're still looking for, finding like writers,
Full stack developer.
The full stack developer is going to be a little bit difficult. One, because I don't understand tech jargon. Like it sounds like Arabic. I don't know what I should be really looking for. So like needing some guidance, or I'm just more so treating the interviews in terms of the full stack developers that we're looking for in terms of, can you complete this? And I need to see work that looks like this. Like, you need to show me when you come into the room what I'm asking for. You have something in your portfolio and you're pretty much capable, as well as I want to see the coding on the back end. Although I can't read it, I just want to see that you've made it. Like, you're not just BSing and pulling my leg. Now, I don't know how good that is, but it's pretty much like, what it is. And I know that we're trying to hire for a full stack developer at this time, and I know that they're probably the hottest thing on the market right now. So they kind of do have the upper hand in terms of employment. Like, no one wants to come into the office 9 to 5. So basically all of the positions besides like 2 of us, they all have to come into the office Monday 9 to 5. They all have, the way it's laid out is a little bit different, but a full stack developer for the most part feels like they don't need to be on site. And I get it. Like, they don't. If you're the best, you're the best regardless, hands down, and you could perform your job. But due to quality control and some of our past issues that we've had with staffing and correcting some of the issues that we've had with freelancers, we just feel more comfortable with having someone on site at this point in time.
Hold that thought.
Oh, okay.
Hold that thought. Okay. One of the things that really happened, like we're talking about with the full stack developer. We got one guy who's coming on, so he's going to help us get that full stack developer. One of the things, and one of the reasons we're doing this for you is there's so much stuff out there where people don't really tell you the truth. Everybody that I talk to that I know who owns a business is going through this. I have a guy who worked on my car. He has a high performance shop. When I say high performance, he works on $300 to $1 million high performance Porsche, the R8. That's the kind of work he does. I have another friend that owns a real estate agency. I have another friend that owns a car wash. I have another friend that owns a PR agency. And I have a friend who's a recruiter. And I just sat down. I was like, what is going on? And they all said the same thing. This is the environment that we're operating in. So people just telling you, just go out and grab somebody and it should work out. That's not really realistic. And plus, people could be broke and will be choosy. They will be broke and be choosy. And something else, what we're going to do, we're not doing it today, but tomorrow we're going to start with digital introductions. Now, you can't buy anything, but you have to go below the video, get on the email list, because I'm going to send out something really nice tonight to everybody that's on the email list. Then it gives us time to add the people who have already purchased this, because like if you got the early B School for Hustlers deal, you good. You don't even have to email us because we know who you are and we're going to put you in. And then for folks on the email list, I'm going to give you a serious deal, but you have to act tonight. Also, something else that we're doing. You know, this is back in the edict of not telling you, it's about showing you, because, see, there's a lot of people who are out here saying that they're business people and they're not really doing business, but because they're online, how would you really know? So it's a big thing. And one of the reasons I wanted to have Valencia do this today is like she's, you know, everybody's been like, where's Valencia? Did Valencia get gone? What was going on? It's like she's been working her ass off dealing with these yardbirds. Hiring people is not easy. It's really not. So I'll just put that out there. I will hit some of these comments. Let's see. Ganji says it depends on, let's see. Make sure the coding is commented in English. Nope. Going through 5 painters, broken, choosy, so true. That's some funny stuff. Just to kind of give you a heads up of what's coming tomorrow. For those of you who are around, like we did 30 days to 2,500, that's how we're going to do digital introductions. So it's going to be very, very interesting. But also, it's not just me telling you this stuff. She's been going through this how many weeks?
God, it feels like forever. I'm gonna say I've been probably for like maybe the last month. Like I've just once I feel like I've hired people. Like when we hired, I kind of came in and I was kind of working with them to see like how the synergy was going in the office. Like I kind of just usurped the HR role a little bit. And then still managing my task and kind of helping them out on their task. I kind of just been kind of all over the place. So I have not been able to like really do anything else besides help people adjust to, you know, they're still fairly new. Like everyone's probably been here for like a month, maybe a little bit of like some people a month and a half. But for the most part, everyone's pretty much fairly new that we have. We have 3 people so far. And I'm not really too much in a rush to probably fill out the other roles, but as of right now, they're working. So seeing where the slack pretty much is, like what is too much for us to handle. Like there is like enough people I feel like viably where you, if long as they come in, like I said, also with the season thing, like if you're getting a newborn straight out of school, like they don't have too many skill sets. They can't wear too many hats for the most part. They're going to be able to really just focus on doing one thing. But if you come with someone, when I'm hiring people who are 3 to 5 years, they have an array of experience. So they might not just be a graphic designer. They have web as well. And then they have a little bit of maybe UX or something under their belt when it comes to like doing like mobile performance or something else. Like they have an array of things. Or if they're coming in their writer, like you need to be a writer, you need to know SEO, like you need to be up there with SEO, SEM, and then you need to be also able to kind of wear the hat of a social media guru. Like you kind of need to be able to kind of do it all because you need to wear multiple hats at this point. So, you know, we're efficiently and effectively running the business instead of just like hiring multiple people when you can have one person doing multiple tasks. So it's just been hard kind of filtering out and doing all of that. And then, yeah, pretty much that's the case. But I mean, overall, it's okay. I'm hoping on this next round of interviews, like, I'm going to probably do it the Skype, like, way, because it also takes a toll out of my workday that I have to kind of interview, and I can't do a lot of the other things that I need to do. So at least with Skype, like, you're not waiting on someone to possibly show up. You're not wasting anyone's time, or if you're filtering out people, you kind of can get that done, in the first interview, which is kind of via phone, or face to face, which is Skype.
Hold that thought. We got cinematic media. I do videography and photography, and people act like they don't want to be trained on the camera settings I want them to use, or even they want to take the time out even to learn the cameras I have.
It's for the folks who are the know-it-alls. I guess I feel like creatives, when it comes to creative things, I can just speak because even though I'm doing HR, I'm more of in a creative role. And if I deal with other people, like, people have their own way when it comes to, like, this is the way I do things. Like, it's like an artistic thing. This is my take on life. And you're just like, bruh, I hired you. You work for me. Do it the way I want, or get on with your life. Like, keep it moving. Like,
Oh, we got Avery Brown got a question here. Uncle G in Valencia, how would you define, describe your company culture? There really isn't one. It's developing, and has it been hard for employees to adjust to your style of business? Extremely, because so many people want to live that life, the laptop lifestyle, work from home, and all this stuff, and that's kind of been the issue because everyone that comes on now probably is not going to be working from home, and that has been a big challenge.
I don't know why people act like I know I'm looking off because I'm like, as you talk about this, I'm thinking about, we recently just had, like, mind you, I just hired some people and we've already had a staff meeting. Like, we've already had a mediation session. And it's like, it was very clear, like, when they hired, like, you need to come into the office Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. This is what it is. Look me dead in my eyes. It was like, yeah, sure, I'm so down for this. Like, yeah, I get to pursue my dreams and, like, do my passions. Now it's like, hey, can I work from home? Hey, and I'm like, that wasn't what it was. Like, this wasn't the deal. Like, why are you playing? Like, why? Why are you coming like this? And you have to, like, kind of reiterate, like, that was never on the table, and they're just like, oh, well, I thought you can cut us some slack. That's not the slack that you're going to get cut if you knew that wasn't on the table to begin with. Like, that's crazy. I don't know. Just a little.
Well, it's part of that new environment of employee because
Well, I feel like it's bad on my part, too, because I feel like because I work from home, and then sometimes I come into the office, but, like, in terms of being able to effectively, like, do everything efficiently, like, I work a little bit longer than everyone else. Like, he came in here one night and I was here at midnight. Can you imagine me being here to midnight every night? Like, that I live like an hour away. No. So working from home kind of works for me, and also too, I'm from New York. I'm from a place, like I said, I'm from another area where working from home and, like, being able to save as much money as possible to, keep your bills and your lights on, is just like a thing. So yeah, I can work from home and cut my costs on the train, cut my eating expenses. I'm gonna work from home and I'm gonna work hard so I can keep working from home. Like, realistically, that's how it works. But yeah, we had a mediation session and it's already been a month, so I'm not too sure where this is panning out. Like, this could be another conversation. This be a part 2 video. I'm telling you how we've already had to rehire and restaff, and I don't know.
and this is what's called real transparency because, like I said, I talked to a lot of my friends and they were going through the same thing. But part of it is, we've had this conversation. We're going to ride it out and we're going to get really good at this stuff. Now, one of the things that makes this interesting is people look at the economy and go like, the stock market's roaring. Amazon just bought Whole Foods, and everybody think the streets are just flowing with money. 30 to 40% of millennials are living with their parents. Why? They don't make enough money. They can't make enough money to live on their own. Or if they live on their own, they're living in some hood-ass apartment in some bad neighborhood, which I commend because that builds character, but I'm just saying. I mean, that's what's going down. Diana, handbooks go with a time clock, and they signed agreement that receive it. Now, that's true, but this is one of the things that I've learned, Diana. People don't read a lot of the shit they're signing. So it's not exactly going to stop the problem. One of the things I'm going to do when it comes on, we're going to go to lunch and we're going to have a long conversation and I'm going to videotape it. So to kind of get past some of this stuff, because someone had asked about the company culture earlier, it's developing, but one of the things I do, especially with the writers, because you will see this, there's other channels. There's B School for Hustlers, which is for business people who already have a business. Rich self-published author, that's for the writing things. We're going to do a lot of writing stuff. Mac Daddy Media, which is video marketing. And another Glendon Cameron channel, which will be personal development for hustlers. And there's going to be another one. And each channel is going to have separate and unique content. Now, the reason I'm talking to the writers, because probably there's going to be 4 to 6 writers, maybe more, because there's going to be a lot of content that has to be written, shaped up, edited, and so forth. And each one of these writers, I'm saying, look, I do some edgy, crazy shit. Are you cool with that? And I had a few that was like, I couldn't do that. That's against God's word. And I said, you know what? That's good. That's it. Then we're just not a fit. Using that Match.com thing. And one of them hit me back the other day. And I was like, wait a minute. And I was thinking, but you said you couldn't do that. It was real funny. So let's see what we got here. Avery Brown, Glendon, how has the hiring process changed since you've been in business through the 80s, 90s, and 20s? I have been in business the 90s and 2000. I wasn't in business in the 80s. I was in high school in the 80s. 2000 to now. Number one, my definition of a yardbird back in 2000 was someone who would come late, but they would work. Someone that kind of had a little attitude, but they would work. Someone that you would have to give verbal warnings to, they would work. Today, my definition of yardbird is you have people who will get on the phone and tell you they're coming for an interview, and you're sitting in your office and they do not show up. And then when you call them, they will not answer their phone. This is something new. This is something crazy. One of the things we're going to do, and you'll get to see it, which is going to be crazy. One of the reasons that this place has so much empty space is there's going to be some folding chairs. And we're going to pick some candidates, and we're going to let them sit in on the show so they know what they're getting themselves into, because another issue that we're having, I thought about this weekend, a lot of people don't believe this is real. Wait a minute, you got a YouTube channel? I don't know nobody with a YouTube channel that has employees. YouTube channels, they work from home. They work from the basement. They're living with their parents and stuff. No one really knows about a YouTube channel, quote, that's a business, but there are plenty that are. They just don't talk about it. They don't tell you they have 5 people running that channel. They don't tell you there's 20 people running that channel. They have you thinking it's just some dude or some girl with a camera. There are many YouTube channels, especially if they're putting out a lot of content, they have a full-time editor. They have a full-time SEO person. They have a full-time AdSense person if they're selling products. There's a lot of things that they're not telling you, and that's why I titled this this, because there's a lot of misinformation out there. There's just a ton. Now we can kind of go just a little bit like that. All right, so what we have here, it's definitely different. Chris McDonald, they're living on the outskirts of town because they're broke. Tiger Shark, Laptop Life, I'm living it, but it's very, very hard. See, now that's something else too. I've told you, I had the, quote, laptop lifestyle. Matter of fact, I'm actually on the table that was in my basement that I wrote my first book on. I've just been holding on to this thing, and I decided to go back to the basics. But it's not 2009 anymore, right? What I did is still doable, but you're going to work much harder. That's just the reality. Let's see what, man, come visit Austin. Lots of co-working spaces with folks editing YouTube channels. Love happy hours in Austin. Avery Brown, what do you think? There's so much fuckery in the hiring process. I just had to let go an app guy and go for trying to pull the wool over my eyes and talk slick. I want to blame Trump, but I'm not, because it would be wrong. I'm going to say, as a culture, hard work is not appreciated like it used to be. And we kind of have a get over culture. We have like, get that money. The ends justify the means. So if you can get 100 G's and not work, cool. I didn't grow up in that world. That's just crazy to me. Eric, I was like walking around with my camera because it starts conversation. Are you vlogging? I think 25 and under, a lot of people living that life. 35 and over, it still looks weird. It just does. It just does. I mean, I was having a conversation with Valencia and her boyfriend, and it's just different. It's just things like I did not know people were hooking up using Instagram. I did not know that. I didn't know that was a thing. I didn't know that. Hold on. Go ahead, talk about that because this is where it gets interesting.
I mean, um, so I don't know but basically I worked at a company prior, a larger company in the past, and they pretty much did studies on like a segmented group of 13-year-olds. It was literally they took a middle school out in Midwest somewhere, and they pretty much tracked a segmented group, probably like 20 kids, their social media interaction for probably the course of 6 months to a year. And like by the end of this, they had to come onto the TV program, this show, and like their parents had to see and like got to see what their kids were talking about and like what was actually going down between like cyberbullying, like this double persona, like kids being socially awkward, not being able to function. And like that's basically what the generation is now. Like, yeah, they're chit chatting, they can have a whole conversation, talk to you, be in a whole relationship with you all on the internet, and you meet this person in real life and it's not the same, or they just don't want to meet you in real life. Like I had one friend, I'm not gonna lie, I just told him we went out to a bar one time. I'm gonna give you a little bit of my story time. She was on this Tinder thingy. I've never used Tinder. I've never had any of these little apps, Bumble, all of these things. But she was on Tinder and she's swiping, and there was a guy who she swiped right, whom she matched with or something, had popped up. And when I say he was in close proximity is an understatement. Like we are at the front door of the bar and he's at the bar itself. Like we're that close. And so he sees it too. He turns around and he acts like they're chit chatting in this conversation. By the end of the night, you would think they would decide to go up and approach each other and have a normal conversation, like a face to face. Nah, like he just sat there by himself at the bar all night. Like it was the weirdest thing. Like, and he knew we were there. I was like, why? I was like, and this is what the millennials are dealing with. They're socially awkward. Like you can't have a conversation with them. So these people are applying for jobs via email. They're super confident. They sound like they know what they're talking about. And you meet them face to face and they're just looking at you like a blank wall. Like they're nervous. They don't know how to formulate a conversation, like nothing. Like their social interaction is down thanks to social media. But like people can't have a regular day-to-day like conversation anymore. So yeah, people are meeting on all kind of websites and all kind of mingles and all kind of stuff. Like yeah, they're having these superficial non-type of things. Some of them translate well, like, and then some of them don't. Like majority of them don't. They don't pan out well. So I just feel like social media has kind of crippled the youth in a nutshell in terms of being able to have human interaction. Like their actual social skills have been limited greatly, and it does show, especially when they come into interviews. I can tell the difference. I haven't even realized it, but I've decided I've myself started have skewed to hiring older, not like intentionally, because I'm all down for the youth. Like I'm all down for the youth. Like I really am. But like when you want to have a conversation, like you're like, hey, they're like,
Hold on. Let me.
like it's really weird. Like I that's another thing in interviews. Like there, you can tell there's this distinct generational gap. And
Keep talking. I'm just doing something.
okay, yeah, there's a distinct generational gap, and it's kind of weird. Like I'm not that old myself, but if I'm talking to someone, who's 21 to anywhere from like 18 to 23, we don't relate on a lot of things. And outside of cultural, like music, I don't understand. I don't get it.
On the age thing, I was just trying to put up there because Belinda just sent 3 blogs through. I don't know how old Belinda is. Belinda watches the video, so I'm not going to guess, but I know she's over 50. And Belinda and I met 3 months ago, and we just had a deal, and she has not let up. She be, 15, 20 a week?
Yeah, I mean, I've never seen Belinda a day in my life, but she delivers work, and I love it. Like I can get my job done, she can get her job done, and to me, that's a cohesive relationship that we have going on. It's the bomb. But then you can't have, that's per person. It's different. Some
Whoa,
people
whoa,
will
whoa,
not
whoa,
work from
whoa,
home.
whoa, whoa. Matt is going hard. To be honest, meeting people online is for really attracting people, attractive people. He's saying if you ugly, don't even give it a shot. Just go.
Jesus Christ, that's so savage.
You know, I'm savage.
Nah, yeah, but people do now slide through a DM in a heartbeat. Whether and also too outside of relationships, people do it for work. Like in like I still work in a creative space. Like I do like this is, but I do have my own outside thing. Whereas like people do still reach out to me about buying stuff or like having some like tidbits and facts and like they won't even send me an email these days. They just slide through my DM. Hey, what's up? Like, I know you know such and such, or you just got featured in this article, or by this company. Like, I just got a recent feature for a huge agency in New York recently, and like my DMs just lit up. They just lit up. Kids who had questions about joining the industry and all kind of things. Like, I thought it was really cool and dope, but once again, it's kind of weird. It's kind of weird. I'm not used to it yet, but I guess it's something else that we'll just have to adjust to in these times. I don't know. I'm gonna try to read some of these comments. I have poor eyesight. I'm wearing contacts now,
Well,
but
we're going to work on
I'm
it. I'm
like,
just going to get an iPad Pro because we need something like in the middle. And they're telling me they want me to use the microphone. Hold on.
cash me outside. She's a whole phenomenon herself.
I love her.
I
She's
mean,
dysfunctional, but I love her.
the whole thing is, I mean, outside of the scope of how she's mastered or she's taken over the internet, she's taken her viral sensation and she's able to charge 30,000 to 45 grand an appearance, and she's maxing out like minimal. That's what she's charging. You can't say there's no business savvy within that. Like she's totally winning right now in her little 15 seconds of fame.
Now, this one's going to go a little longer, but we will be into the selling part tomorrow. We are at, okay, we got plenty of time. I'm not trying to make these over an hour. We're like 30 minutes in.
So we're done.
No, no, no.
Oh, I was
no,
like,
no, no.
I was like,
getting
are
ready
we
to say-
done?
No, no. All right. So one of the things, make sure we're going to create a studio. Like in this room, this office, there may not be that many people. It may be 3 or 4 of us. Um, we're going to get the microphones. We're going to set up. We're going to do all that stuff. But see, this is the thing. Tomorrow, we're going to start selling digital introductions. Links below if you want to be part of that special offer. Get on that email list. We're going to make this all sexy because here's the thing. That's the whiteboard wall. And, I'll just show you. It's still it's unfinished because I'm not just throwing stuff in here. There's a plan. This is going to be the studio part of Mac Daddy Media. And for you animals, if this works out, there's going to be a skit for Hustlers Kung Fu. And if it works out, y'all going to love it. But this is going step by step. And instead of just kind of pulling a bunch of money out, I'm going to do it out of cash flow. Hence the reason I will even tell you, I've taken the ads off of the channel. There will be no more pre-rolls on the new videos going up or the new streams. Below the video, you can give that love offering or you can buy something to support the channel. Also, go into the other channels and be sure to subscribe. All the channels are below. You're going to be learning a lot of stuff. So just be patient because we're actually building this. You don't see people doing this. Like we just sit here and said, we just had, well, Valencia has had a horrible month with the hiring thing because of the people out there. And then I'll take responsibility. I'm the one that's creating the ads that's attracting these yardbirds. That's on me. So I have to write better ads. You haven't even looked at the people from the new ad. I don't know if they're straight because we also don't hire people before new pay periods start because that gets to be interesting. But this is the real deal of starting the business. I will be in these DMs. What we got here? Well, that kind of goes with that's been going a long time in society. It is social media, but there's other factors. And I was growing up, the porch used to be on the front. People would like drive by and like, hey, see you sitting on the porch, pulling your yard and talk to you. You do that now, people calling the police. I don't know you. Why you pulling up in my yard? I mean, it's a social problem. It's a big society problem. Broderick, where did you find the whiteboard paint? It's paint. I had to create that. It's an acrylic. Don't go to Home Depot. Go online. Home Depot will rape your pockets. I had to make it because the thing is you can order the paint and then paint whatever you want. Like if I wanted this whole office to be, and I thought about it and it might happen, I could put this whiteboard stuff on every wall and write on it. That would be crazy, but I may do it. Sure, no problem, Broderick. But, we're going to be doing this. It's been a while since we've been doing the live streams, and we're going to do it step by step. We got one mic because I don't have a mixer because, there's, here's all this stuff. I mean, this is just straight up. That's the studio right there. That's it. That's the studio. And before I make any more big investments, we're going to get the store rolling, the show rolling. We're going to make the content better. Like today was supposed to be a training day, but was doing this weekend, working on a client's project this weekend, and getting paint out of the carpet. So, yeah, it's a lot. But this is the thing: it's worth it if you have a goal because you get to see all of the ugliness, the roughness, and stuff, and then a year later you'd be like, that started from that. So that's why we're doing it. Let's see. What do we have here? What's up, MJ Electronics? Sinister Angel. I need to get my hustle again big time. Definitely. Because there's a lot of stuff that's coming because I'm going to give you just an overview of tomorrow. One of the problems with trying to get somebody to pay you attention is people don't know how to set up the offer. The first section of digital introductions will be about the offer. I'm going to tell you stuff no one else tells you. I watch other people. I listen to videos. Like I was watching all these Shopify videos, and 90% of them tell you how to put together a Shopify store. They don't tell you how to get traffic. Traffic is everything. We had an e-commerce site that broke, but we were getting traffic and we were making sales every day. It was paid traffic, but we were getting traffic. Without traffic, it's just not going to work. So let's see. All right, that's kind of the thing. And tomorrow will be a little different. May have two cameras. Yeah, I can do two cameras. I think I know what I can do here. Do two cameras, and then we're going to do live training. Now, just for those of you who are here, you want to get on the email list because I'm going to shoot out an email 30 minutes before it happens. And if you're here, the training's free. If you want the recorded version, you have to pay for that. I'm going to just say that again. If you show up, the training's free. Do not be sending me messages like, hey, I missed the training, can I get a replay? No, you have to buy the replay. That's all I'm going to say on that. But we're going to go down, and digital introductions could be 30 to 45 days to do. There will be the live training. There will be a special write-up. Belinda, she does that stuff. And then there's going to be a special learning module in there. So there's going to be three things in there. It's going to be definitely like 30 days to 2,500, but like 100 times better. Now let's talk about the money because everybody wants the money. To buy, it's going to be $300 per month for 6 or 7 months, or I'm going to hit you over the head for $1,500. Now I know it's like, wow, man, that's a lot of money. And you know what? You're right. But see, here's the thing. You go ahead and do the work with digital introductions. It can literally be hundreds of thousands of dollars or millions of dollars over the course of your lifetime. These are the skills I learned at Rent-A-Crate. Last job I had was at Rent-A-Crate, what, $19.99? I'm still using that stuff. They paid me to learn, and I'm still using it. I was having this conversation with some people on Facebook, and this lady who was a CPA was talking about one of her clients who went out of business, MBA, big-ass loan, but he refused to learn how to sell and market. Digital introductions is going to teach you all of the core stuff of selling and marketing you and your products. It's invaluable. So just letting you know, and it will not be discounted. Just saying, because once it's put together, it's going to be super special. Let's see what we're got in these DMs. Okay, that's about it. We're going to wrap it up. Make sure that you go below the video and you get on the email list. So I'm going to send it out tonight, the hot offer, and you got to be on the email list to get it. And I'm going to tell you something else too. People who come in off the street pay more than folks on the email list. Just saying. So with that, go below the video. If you like this content, be sure to make a love offering and be sure to subscribe to all of the channels. A lot of content's coming your way soon. So with that, I am going to bounce. Let's just say we, because it's just not me.